You have lenses already?
What was that?
Do you have lenses already?
I have all the lenses that I need.
Okay.
But I'll probably be back later. All those sounds made it feel like a Breaking Bad intro, but that's just the footage of me buying my FX6 from the last vlog. And then I made a quick stop over to FedEx just so I can return some items from that time-lapse project a few weeks ago, get my money back. Well, I never thought I'd have both of these cameras sitting on the same table, but while I do, let's do some tests. So if this is in XAVC Intra, so the all I frame codec, in 4K, it gives me 66 minutes on a 128 card. So if I go here and I have XFAVC, which is the comparable codec, Intra 4K, same thing, 30 frames per second, I get 30 minutes. It has a 128, mirror cards are in here. So 30 minutes versus 66. I thought this ate memory much faster than this, and obviously there is an 8-bit versus 10-bit difference when you're in long op. This is very technical, but it is very good to know of how many cards you need to buy. Very interesting stuff.
This changed my life. The one thing I wish I knew before.
This is a continuation of the conference from the last vlog. A couple people were wondering about the audio configuration. So there's a mix of handheld mics and wireless lavaliers that were put on by that AV guy in the corner right there. So they're going into his soundboard through an extremely long XLR cable that winds around the room. This was provided by the house or paid for by my client. Goes up the camera, wraps around the handle as a tension relief area, and then full-size XLR, which is nice because I had to use an adapter for the C70. But when you're doing this, always put it on line as a lower signal so that you don't potentially blow your speakers. And using my eImage GH06, I love this thing. I was able to lock it, release it, make minor adjustments with no tiny twitches, no weird movements, extremely smooth, fluid head. Well worth the buy. So I actually had to get a contractor to finish the rest of the job for me because this is the first time since 2018 that the UFC has been here. All right, it was super fun, and our local guy, Philip Rowe, won, but now let's get back to cameras. I finally upgraded my luggage from maybe 5 years. This is a little bigger. It's meant for full-size, checked-in, and the reason I picked this is because it can hold light stands and tripods inside. Obviously, the head comes off, but now I don't have to have some weird bag aka that guy, who I do not trust for airline travel. I can put small light stands in here, tripods, maybe even a light or two in here, and all of my clothing, because for work jobs I'm never usually gone more than a week, and specifically next week I'll be in the Bahamas, shooting resort, doing lifestyle and architecture coverage. So this is perfect. Got it just in time. It's just, one expense after the other, but hopefully they are worthwhile investments. All right, more tests. So we have the 18 to 35 on the C70 and the 24 to 70 on the FX6. Now I like the 18 to 35 because it goes down to 1.8, but the 24 to 70 has image stabilization. So when I'm filming MMA, I have the gridlock, cross-checker fence right up here, and I need to be able to blur that out to see the fighters behind the fence. That is a huge benefit with 1.8. But 1.8 on a Super 35 is similar to 2.8 on full frame, similar depth of field. So now I'm just seeing what is the width and the field of view difference between 18 to 35. And so you can begin to see a little bit of the cables on the piano. and then 24 on full frame. You can see way past it. The left side of the frame is lined up on the wall. So left side is matching. And so you get probably about a 5%, 8% wider field of view with 24 on full frame than you do on 18 on Super 35. Specifically, you know, their respective sensors, because some Super 35 sensors have a different crop, 1.5, 1.6, but this is very interesting. So now I'll be able to use this camera when filming MMA, and I will get the added benefit of having image stabilization and a little bit wider field of view. But also, if you guys see me doing things wrong, this is my first time using the FX6. Let me know, because I don't know what I don't know. So if the settings are wrong or you have different experience and can give guidance, please share in the comments. I buy a ton of stuff on B&H. How many people have this Paybu credit card? It allows you two options. You can either save the tax on any purchases or finance if you have some bigger ticket items. I think I'm gonna do this just because I repeatedly buy from B&H, and if I can save 6.5% on every order, that would be nice. But please let me know if anybody has experience with this. Speaking about B&H, I had to get a couple items that I needed or wanted. This is the tape that I use for my lavaliers. It is so handy, better than clipping things on ties all the time. And now that I have full-size XLR, I need to get an appropriate cable, and I love that this has a right angle on it. And something that I learned from the Cranky Cameraman is get blue for channel 2. Always need some more gaff tape. I think I left mine somewhere and it was barely even used. And then the most important part is I have EF lenses, so I need the Sigma adapter because I'm not trying to get all Sony lenses right now, which is why with the Sony or Sigma 24-70, I still get stabilization. The E-mount one doesn't have that. So I'm rushing to get everything done before the Bahamas, including getting the last bit of these MMA reels out. This is shot with a Komodo from the production company that I was working for. This is my first time working with R3D files, and it actually is kind of crazy. If there's nothing done to the footage, I can play it back on this 2015 MacBook Pro. And this is probably the most important part about Red Raw is you can just change all the settings as metadata. Extremely powerful. When I was messing with it, I was like, okay, I get it. I finally understand red footage. This is the first time I've ever worked with it. But this is an old computer, and I don't know if you can hear it, but it is working overtime just to do some rendering. So I don't want to be doing a lot of editing, especially on this machine, and I also don't want to buy a new machine, so that leaves me to refuse editing jobs. But these in particular are things that I shoot and edit because they're extremely small scale. Look how tight and compact this is. This is what I want for my rigs. I love that they have the mic holder and the input all here. When I have the C70, I have to string cables across with things poking out. I don't like that. I like this minimal cabling going through the entire rig. But the thing that I am fixated on is I love this system, and I want to replace this LCD screen with my Small HD 502 Bright. I know this has touch function and everything, but this is what I want to use. Now, I'm not going to mess up mine. I'm going to have to buy someone else's, but I want to replace this screen with this, somehow screwing it into here. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm not going to, like I said, not going to ruin mine. But this type of pan tilt configuration is the best I've ever seen. So you got left and right adjustment. You have the ability to tilt without loosening anything. And my favorite part is when I'm done, I can store it like this, drop it in the bag. I want that with this. That would be perfect. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will figure it out. Also, if you guys are interested in making your own podcast, vlog, social media channel, I highly recommend doing it. as you can tell, I don't put much work into this one. I film on my phone, I edit on my phone, and I upload to YouTube on my phone. So the equipment is negligible. However, the benefits I've gotten from this is very, very quantitative. I've gotten jobs from this. I've expanded my network from this. I've created more awareness that I am a DP that does this and is able to be hired. So I just want to re-emphasize, if you guys have an idea that you want to pursue but you're not sure, do it, because it works. As long as you got a unique point of view, or, you know, in my case, I want to make money off of this vlog. I want to be able to be working and have YouTube AdSense be paying me. So I'm not at that point yet, but I'm trying to give as much value as I can through these vlogs in hopes that it will garner a large audience and eventually start paying me money. So I just wanted to let you guys know, please go for those endeavors that you're not sure about. Because even if it doesn't work out, at least you'll learn more about it. But if you're consistent at it, they usually work out.